want any outdoor collection of any sort of evidence, any material that might be germane to the case. We want to do it very quickly so that weather doesn't continue to be a factor.
I'm talking about finding her.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Would you repeat your question?
How crucial it is, the timing of this. I mean, it's been more than 24 hours.
Thank you. Anytime a child, anytime you have circumstances where a child is missing, obviously the quicker that we can find that child, the better. We are very anxious to get any information that we can. We don't have any specific information that the child is missing with the intent to harm the child. We just know that the child is missing and that we're attempting to get the child back as quickly as possible.
Are there any plans for members of the community to search in areas around town? Is anything like that going on?
As I said before, once we've done the search without making a footprint, so to speak, then we're going to be able to use those assets. We've had volunteers from not only throughout this area, throughout the state, but then certainly from other states as well that have volunteered to come. The trick is going to be, or the balance is going to be, using those assets to where people are being utilized well. It doesn't inhibit other parts of the investigation, so there's really going to be a feathering sort of a thing that's going to occur. So while we do appreciate people volunteering, we want to do it in a coordinated manner.
Crystal Lake and Milton Road, those areas, are those the only two active scenes that you're searching right now?
Yep, at this point, those are the two areas, and maybe the use of the word scene is not necessarily appropriate, but areas. As Mr. Spagnola points out, the area or the scene was in Ludington in terms of where she was taken from. So those are areas that we're following up on that were corresponded to some tip information that we received.
And just to clarify, you're operating on the assumption that the child is alive and unharmed?
Absolutely.
This is a question for the prosecutor. What constitutes the crime of kidnapping? How long does somebody have to be missing before it moves from a domestic dispute to a kidnapping?
Well, there are two types of kidnapping statutes, Pat. There's the parental kidnapping, which has a 1 year and 1 day maximum penalty, and that requires the child to be missing for 24 hours. The kidnapping charge that has been levied against Mr. Phillips does not require any specific period of time or duration. It just requires the taking with the intent to deprive and conceal from the parent.
So is that why you're trying to establish paternity through the DNA?
Can you repeat that, please, Pat?
Was a mention in the press release, I believe, that there's a DNA test. No, it was in the arraignment. Are you trying to establish the paternity of the child before moving forward with more charges?
There is a separate proceeding to determine the paternity of the child. It doesn't have any impact on my charging decision.
Okay.
Could I ask about the Amber Alert? It was issued yesterday evening.
Yes.
After he was arrested and several hours after she was reported missing. Why the delay in the Amber Alert?
There was some delay simply from the logistics of getting the information loaded in the computer. And I can't put it any more simply than that. Could it have been done quicker? Absolutely. But we got it done as timely as we could given the other factors involved in the situation or the investigation. There was no correlation between the timing of the turning in of the Amber Alert and the arrest of Mr. Phillips.
So there was a computer issue, which is why there was
It was a logistics kind of a computer issue. Yes.
Okay. Have you had that issue in the past? I mean, I haven't heard of such a delay involving a computer glitch.
I understand it's not a glitch. It's just a matter of getting to do something. It just wasn't done quicker than it was, and that that being the case, that was something that I did not get done quickly enough.
Regarding like the Crystal Lake scene, are you guys searching the water or like the woods surrounding the area?
Yes. The fact of the matter is that there's a boat landing that's being looked at or has been looked at. I'm not sure the timing just now, but that there in that area there, the water as Chief Cross has indicated that the water had been looked at with the air asset, the helicopter from the Coast Guard, And then with the dogs, either they are or they will be looking in, as well as more boots on the ground in the wooded area.
Follow up on that Amber Alert question, do you think there would have made a difference with a more timely Amber Alert?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Is it true that you're looking for some voter who was out on Crystal Lake yesterday?
I don't have that information.
Do you know the time frame between when the girl was first reported missing till the time that he made the arrest? Or first came in contact with the suspect?
Approximately 2 hours.
I would at this point like to, if I could, just ask you that any releases that you give, if we could, if folks are not comfortable with calling directly and they have the opportunity to submit some information in an anonymous sort of a way through the Lakeshore Silent Observer. The number there is 888-STOP-CRIME. The number is there 888-786-7274. There's also a website, www.lsotip.com. And also tips can be texted to LSOTIP, and the number is 274-637-CRIMES. Those are the 3 anonymous opportunities, as well as contacting Central Dispatch at 231-869-5858. Ladies and gentlemen,
I have a quick sentence.
okay.
We're still optimistic and encouraged that she'll be found safely. I think that the weather is actually encouraging that she'll be found safely. She's small. However, it's not like it's January. It's not 20 below zero. The weather's a little bit temperate right now, so hopefully we can find her safely if she's been left abandoned out in the woods or out in the wild. We also have the Silent Observer card if you want to get a close-up of it for your video. So,
I have one more question.
Yes.
When the suspect was at the mother's home yesterday, was there an argument between them? They said that they were planning to go shopping?
At the mother, Catherine's mother.
Yes.
Okay. It's my,
they're running an errand,
Oh, they
not necessarily shopping. A little
Okay.
different from that. They did have an argument. They did have a dispute. I really can't discuss the pertinence of the argument itself. We've had reports as to what it was.
The name of the mother has not been officially released. What is the name of the mother, and is she or has she ever been under investigation for child abuse?
She has, as far as child abuse, no. She was spoken to last night. She was interviewed last night. And her statement was taken, her statement was examined, her statement was corroborated, and we do not have her as a suspect.
Has she ever been charged with anything in the county?
I can't go talk about that right now, Pat.
Okay, we had heard that that was a possibility. Are you going to release her name?
Not at this time.
It's on the front page of the paper this afternoon. Would that be correct information?
I have not seen the newspaper this afternoon. I tried to look at it earlier this afternoon and wasn't able to get it up on my computer. So I don't know what's in the newspaper.
Why would you not release her name?
I think that there's some issues with respect to her at this point in time. I prefer not to.
any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? If not, I thank you for your time. We'll have a set of photos for of Catherine and of Mr. Phillips. We'll have those available if you'd like some of those. And at this point, we'd like to return back to the investigation. Thank you for your cooperation, your help in bringing Catherine home.